Thanks, Sam, and welcome back to New Brighton. A lot has happened since we last spoke a little bit earlier this morning. As you can see, a lot of dignitaries have arrived. They are waiting for the President of our country, President Jacob Zuma, to arrive. As you said, he will be laying a wreath here at the SS MENDI Memorial ahead of Armed Forces Day. So we have personnel from the Army, from the Navy, from the Air Force, everybody here awaiting the arrival of the President. But I must just tell you, for every workhorse, there's an engine that needs to be run. And I'm joined this morning, we always talk about the higher ranks of the South African Defence Force, but down the lower ranks also make things possible. And I'm joined this morning by Corporal Nqobile Nzuza from the Air Force. And Corporal, you are going to talk the dignitaries and the guests here through the importance of the Mendi. For our viewers, share what is the significance of the SS Mendi and why it's so important to remember the sinking.
Good morning to all our viewers. This morning we are celebrating the 99th anniversary of the sinking of the Mendi ship. That is where most of our members, our soldiers, actually perished during the sinking of the Mendi. So I believe that it's of utmost importance that we always remember this day, because that is where our forefathers are. And also now I feel that the baton is with us, the younger generation, to also teach the people in our community so they can also know this part of the history in our country.
Now, Corporal, just take us briefly through, I know Armed Forces Day is happening on the beachfront, but the wreath-laying ceremony here at New Brighton, what's going to happen?
We're going to have the President of the Republic of South Africa is going to lay the wreath on behalf of the people of South Africa. And then from there, then everybody's going to be on their way to Beach Road for the Armed Forces Day parade.
Let's break away from what's happening this morning. You're a woman in the South African Defence Force. What kind of a career is it?
I believe it's the best thing that anyone can ever be in, but it has to be a calling. I think for women, for us right now, there isn't that thing that it's a male-dominant area. They're also the female, and we all have equal opportunities.
Well, you tested me to that because you are telling everybody about the Mendi today. Corporal, thanks so much. Sam, just to give you an idea, what will happen today at the beachfront, it's the Parade and Capabilities demonstration. It's going to be divided into three parts. The National Ceremonial Guard will march and wait for the President. There will then be a salute, and there will be a 21-gun salute. There will be an inspection. There will then be a medal parade and a formal address. Then what will happen is all the personnel from the South African Defence Force, the Army, the Navy and the Air Force, about 800 of them will march past the President and they will salute. He will take that salute. Thereafter, there will be a drive and a fly past. This will be by all the South African Defence Force mobile vehicles as well as by the Air Force, and that's going to be really spectacular to see. And once that is done and they've all passed the President and they've moved on, there's going to be a capabilities demonstration at Kings Beach area. This is where there will be sea rescues, land rescues, and all sorts of activities and demonstrations by the South African Defence Force, just what they are actually capable of. So that's going to be really spectacular. And then the rest of the mobile unit will go through the rest of Port Elizabeth to the areas where people maybe cannot get transport to come to the beachfront. That this demonstration and this mobile vehicle cade will go all through some of the suburbs where perhaps people cannot get to the beachfront, so they will have a taste of what the South African Defence Force can offer. And as I said, Sam, you heard from the Corporal here, it's not only men. We think South African Defence Force men, but there are many, many career opportunities in the South African Defence Force. I spoke to some people earlier in this week. If you're interested in music, you can join the choir. If you're a chef, if you're interested in cooking, you can become a chef. So there's lots to do. It's not only all firepower, but it's going to be a big day here in Port Elizabeth, and they've practiced for a whole week, and today is the culmination, and that will happen on the Port Elizabeth beachfront. So for everybody living in Port Elizabeth, if you've got nothing to do today, it's going to be well worth your while to take a trip down to the beachfront. And on our SABC television and news channels, you can watch the activities. It's going to commence around about 9:30, and you'll be able to see the fly past, the marches, and everything that's happening on the beachfront. So stay tuned to SABC. Sam, from us here in New Brighton, it's back to you for the time being.